Hello and welcome to Breezy Chatter. Today we are going to be talking about the bold and the beautiful. Thank you for all of those who have subscribed to my channel. Your subscription is highly appreciated, and let's get started. So, everyone is well aware that Steffi believes that Liam is her husband. And per the instructions of Taylor and Bridget, it's important not to disrupt what Steffi believes to be true. Although we all know that Liam and Hope are happily married, they don't want to affect Steffi's healing process. They want her to heal before they can tell her what's happened to her, what's happened to Finn, and that Hayes is her son. Brooke is outraged by the idea that Liam has to pretend to be Steffi's husband. And Hope, although she's trying to be noble and she's trying to do the right thing, she's really not happy about it and she's very insecure. And you can see it every time that Liam goes in the room to have some time with Steffi. Steffi is coping with the trauma that she's experienced by blocking out Finn's existence, which means she doesn't know about Hayes, and she's grasping on to what is considered safe to her. And what's safe to her is her relationship with Liam, and that is what she's holding on to, and that's why she believes that Liam is her husband. And it's just her, Liam, and Kelly. It's her little family. And Taylor and Bridget both believe that over time, Steffi will regain her memory, and this is not going to last forever. But Hope, of course, she does let Liam know that although she understands what's happening with Steffi, she is starting to feel uncomfortable. And as soon as Brooke hears that her daughter's uncomfortable, something must be done right away. And Taylor's standing there listening to this, and she's in disbelief in a way. And she knows that Brooke is so selfish. Hope is so selfish. Hope is one of those people, she wants people to think that she's not selfish, but she is. All she cares about is herself, having her needs met, and her happiness. And her mother's just the same. All her mother cares about is if Hope is happy. If Hope's not happy, no one should be happy. And if it were up to Brooke and Hope, they would just go in there and just shatter this woman and just tell her your husband died, you have a son, and Liam is not your husband. Just so that Hope can feel comfortable. There's no reason for Hope to feel insecure, or is there? And the question is this: if Hope feels insecure, who's to blame for that? Is it Steffi's fault that she feels insecure in her marriage? Is it Liam's fault? Or is it her fault for continuing to be with someone who is always caught up between two women, who can't make up his mind, who you can't trust? Not for nothing, we all know that Liam tried his best to sabotage Steffi's relationship with Finn. So yeah, Hope is always going to feel insecure where Liam and Steffi are concerned, because she knows that Liam has very deep feelings for Steffi, feelings that are not going anywhere anytime soon, if ever. So while Liam is effortlessly pretending to be Steffi's husband, we have Hope staring through the glass watching them. And she's so insecure. It is so sad to watch how insecure she is in her position as Liam's wife. Then we have Brooke ranting and raving, pressuring Bridget, asking Bridget, is it necessary to continue this lie? Does Liam have to play this role of a husband to Steffi? He's not her husband. Hope is uncomfortable. And I think that Taylor had had enough. She was just tired of hearing it. She was tired of the whining and the complaining of Brooke and Hope. And she says, okay, Hope, you've been uncomfortable for all of what? 3 hours? My daughter's fighting for her life here. Can you let her recover? Can you give her a chance to heal? And all Hope is thinking about is, my husband is going to be forced to play Steffi's husband for years. That's not going to happen. This is a very temporary measure. This is something that needs to happen right now just to give Steffi enough time to heal physically. Once she heals physically and she's back home, I don't think there will be any harm in telling her the truth. But no, Hope has to be extra and she has to say, oh, my husband is not going to be able to keep this charade going for years. I don't think that's the plan for anyone involved. But right now, she's in a hospital bed trying to recover. And Taylor made it very clear that no one is going to disrupt her daughter's recovery. And I was here for it. I was so glad that Taylor stood up for her daughter and she sort of shut Brooke and Hope down. They should be ashamed of themselves. And they're so selfish. And that narrative that all they do is take and take, it's very true. It rings true this week. All they care about is themselves and their needs. And oh, poor Hope, she has to stand by and watch her husband express his love for another woman. And genuinely so. He's not putting on. It's very clear that he loves Steffy. And it's very clear to Hope, which is why she's not comfortable. Which is a problem that she needs to work out. She chose the waffler. They both chose him. So they're always going to feel insecure with him. And Steffy was lucky enough to get away from that. Steffy was lucky enough to move on with a man who had eyes for her and only her. So she was very fortunate in that way. But Hope, actually being with Liam, she's always going to wonder, can she trust him? Can he be trusted? Can he be left alone with Steffy? According to spoilers, I believe Liam is going to tell Steffy the truth next week. So this is going to be so short-lived, but we have all this production with Brooke, all this production with Hope. And I think next week, Steffy's going to find out the truth. And what's more, Steffy is starting to regain some of her memory. She's remembering scenes from the alley. She doesn't recall any people in the alley, but she is seeing boxes. And it's only a matter of time before she's able to name Sheila as the person who shot her and Finn. And that puts Sheila under a lot of pressure as well. So we know Sheila's really hanging around to see how much Steffy knows. And we also know that Sheila is there to finish the job. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens next week. It's going to be interesting to see if Sheila decides that it's time to take out Steffy. And will she be successful in her attempts? I highly doubt it, but it's going to be very interesting to see who stops Sheila in her tracks. That is my commentary. If you liked it, hit like, subscribe, and leave comments. Thank you for your time. Until next time, ta-ta.